Hello, everybody. Tim Teacher here with a weekly reading of our book, Gerbil On The Loose by Michael Delaney. So far, in the first 3 chapters that we've read, we learned that Obi is a gerbil and lives with the Armstrong family. Obi's owner is Rachel, and there's also Mr. and Mrs. Armstrong, and Rachel's brother, Craig. We also learned that there's a cat, at least one cat, Sweetie Smoochkins, and Sweetie Smoochkins knew something, but would not tell Obi what that was, what the cat knew. But then last time we learned, right, Rachel's family, the Armstrong family, is going to take a trip, but not just a trip, a very, very big trip they're going to take. So Obi was a little surprised. I don't know if she was excited, but she was certainly surprised about that last time. Rachel was also supposed to be packing her bag, right? Because we need to pack our bag to take a trip. But she wasn't doing that, right? She was going through her music CDs to figure out what she could listen to in the car on the trip. This time, we are on chapter 4, and we are reading about Obis Secret. Obi had a secret. Nobody knew she had a secret. Not Mac the dog, not Mr. Smithers the parrot, not Betsy and Susie the goldfish, not the 3 cats, Sugar Smacks, Honey Buns, or Sweetie Smoochkins, certainly not the cats, not Craig's pets. How would they know? Not the other members in Rachel's family. Not even Rachel herself knew that Obi had a secret. So what was the big secret? Obi knew how to read. Okay, you're thinking no way, right? Gerbils can't read, but Obi could. Here's how it happened. For as long as Obi could remember, Mr. Armstrong had read bedtime stories to Rachel. Every evening before Rachel went to bed, the 2 of them would make themselves comfy in the blue upholstered armchair that was in Rachel's bedroom, right beside her dresser. While Mr. Armstrong read aloud, Rachel, dressed in her PJs, would snuggle up close to her father in such a way that she could see the pictures on the pages, or when she was older and there were few or no pictures, the words themselves. Over the years that Obi had been Rachel's pet, Mr. Armstrong had read hundreds of children's books to Rachel. As Rachel grew older, Mr. Armstrong read fewer and fewer books with pictures in them, and more chapter books, like ours. And there was Obi, while Mr. Armstrong was reading aloud to Rachel. The little gerbil was in her apartment, which, if you recall, was on Rachel's dresser, which was right next to the chair that Mr. Armstrong and Rachel were reading in. Obi had a perfect overhead view of Rachel and her father and the book that Mr. Armstrong was reading aloud. Obi could follow the words as Mr. Armstrong read. One thing led to another thing, or one word led to another word, and before Obi knew it, she had learned to read. And that's how it happened. So Obi was absolutely thrilled to hear about the trip. Where were they all going? A big trip, Mrs. Armstrong had said. Obi thought of the books that Mr. Armstrong had read to Rachel, and remembered some of the amazing places that the books had described. New York City, from Harriet the Spy, England, Winnie the Pooh, Mary Poppins, Harry Potter, Florida, because of Winn-Dixie, Paris, Madeline, the Dakota Territory, Little House on the Prairie, Detroit, the Watsons Go to Birmingham, Oregon, Ramona. Could it be Obi was actually going to see one of these exotic places? That would be so cool. Cool was a favorite expression of Rachel's. She said it whenever she got really excited about something. The truth was, Obi had never been on a trip before. Well, unless you counted driving home from the pet store a trip, or that time Rachel was in 2nd grade and she took Obi to school as her show and tell. Obi watched as Rachel and her mother packed Rachel's duffel bag. The little gerbil could hardly keep still. She was so excited. In addition to underwear, Rachel and her mother packed all sorts of Rachel's things. Long pants, several pairs of shorts, 2 swimsuits, a sweatshirt, t-shirts, socks, PJs, hair ties, a comb, toothbrush. Obie was desperate to find out more about the trip, but who could she ask? Mac, that's who. Mac had to know something. The old yellow Labrador hung out in the TV room, where lots of family discussions took place. He must know all about the trip. There was only one problem. To talk to Mac, it meant Obie needed to go downstairs. And to go downstairs, it meant Obie needed to get into her gerbil mobile. And to get into her gerbil mobile, it meant Obie needed to get Rachel to take her out of her apartment and place her inside the gerbil mobile. I wonder if she'll make it downstairs. That's a very long trip for a gerbil, right? Gerbils are very small. We'll find out next week when we read Chapter 5, a 2-step process. I think we might find out, right? That'll be next week. I enjoyed reading with you this week. I look forward to reading with you next week. Goodbye.